For centuries, people have searched for the fastest way to get rich. They've chased secrets, followed gurus, and worked themselves to exhaustion. Yet most end up in the same place, tired, broke, and wondering what went wrong. Because the truth has been hidden in plain sight all along. Money doesn't flow to the hardest worker or the smartest thinker. It flows to the person who understands power. Power creates leverage, and leverage multiplies money. The rich know this truth, and they've built systems to keep it quiet. They want you busy working, not thinking, obeying, not creating. But today, we pull back the curtain. We reveal the ancient principles of speed and control that Machiavelli himself understood. Because fortune doesn't reward the cautious, it rewards the bold. And if you're ready to move fast, to rise like those who built empires from nothing, then stay with me. Because in the next few minutes, you'll see the real path. The path not to slow comfort, but to fast, strategic power. Most people are taught from childhood that hard work is the secret to success. They're told to study hard, work long hours, and climb the ladder one step at a time. But look around you. The hardest workers are rarely the richest. Teachers, nurses, and laborers work endlessly, yet struggle to build wealth. Their effort is real, but their reward is limited, because they're trading time for money instead of building leverage. They're playing a game designed for them to lose. Machiavelli would call them loyal servants in another man's castle. Their loyalty is used, their energy consumed, and their reward delayed. Meanwhile, the masters, those who own, lead, and command, collect the fruits of others' labor. It's not unfair. It's simply power at work. The world doesn't pay for effort. It pays for control. The worker sells time. The owner sells decisions. And decisions, once multiplied by systems or people, create exponential results. That's the difference between working and ruling. The poor chase income. The rich chase influence. Because influence multiplies every move. Hard work without ownership is a treadmill. You can run faster, sweat harder, and never move forward. You might earn more, but you won't advance, because someone else owns your output. And when they own the output, they own the outcome. Machiavelli warned that he who builds on another man's power builds on sand. And that's exactly what most workers do. They build castles for others while renting small rooms inside. They think stability means safety, but it really means stagnation. Safe is slow, and slow is death in the game of wealth. So how do the rich move faster? They stop focusing on effort and start focusing on structure. They create systems where money moves whether they're awake or asleep. They build leverage through people, assets, technology, and reputation. Each piece becomes a lever, small movements, massive results. The worker asks, how can I earn more per hour? The owner asks, how can I earn without hours at all? That mindset shift separates the servants from the strategists. Think of it like a chessboard. The worker moves like a pawn, one square at a time, hoping not to fall. The rich move like the queen, swift, bold, and unafraid to strike. While others follow rules, they rewrite them. They don't just play the game, they design it. That's why working harder is never enough. Effort without direction is wasted energy. Busyness isn't progress. Motion isn't power. Strategy begins with one question: who controls the result of my work? If the answer isn't you, then you're not building wealth. You're building someone else's. The moment you start thinking like an owner, your climb begins. You stop being the engine and start being the architect. You stop trading time and start creating systems. That's the foundation of fast wealth. Because hard work built the foundation, but leverage builds the empire. And the faster you step into ownership, the faster you step into freedom. Most people live their entire lives trapped in safety. They want guarantees, they want comfort, they want the illusion of control. But here's the paradox: safety kills speed. The desire to avoid risk slows every decision, every move, every opportunity. Machiavelli would say that fortune is like a woman. She favors the bold, not the hesitant. The bold move first. The safe wait for permission. And while they wait, the world changes. Every generation produces two kinds of people: the cautious who plan forever, and the daring who act before the plan is perfect. Guess which group ends up rich? The daring. Because they understand that perfection is the enemy of progress. You don't need certainty to move, you need courage. Think about every empire, every fortune, Every sudden rise you've ever seen, it always looks overnight. One year they're unknown, the next, they're everywhere. But that speed wasn't luck. It was timing, leverage, and bold execution. They moved when others doubted. They acted while others hesitated. They took the shot while the rest kept aiming. Safe people never rise fast because safety makes them slow. They overthink. They wait for the right time, the right market, the right sign. But the right time never arrives. The market never feels perfect, and the sign never comes. So they wait, and they wait, until the opportunity is gone. The rich understand this cycle. They know hesitation is death. They move decisively, even with incomplete information, because action creates momentum, and momentum creates opportunity. Machiavelli believed that power belongs to those who dare. He wrote that fortune must be seized with strength, not courted with patience. That means moving first, even when you're unsure, because hesitation breeds regret, and regret is the slowest poison of all. So, how do you move boldly without being reckless? You calculate, then strike. You study the field, identify the moment, and move with speed when it appears. From the outside, it looks dangerous, but in truth, it's precision disguised as bravery. The bold aren't blind, they're prepared, and preparation makes their strikes look effortless. Here's the pattern. The world rewards action, not intention. You can plan for years and still lose to the one who started yesterday, because momentum beats perfection, speed beats safety, and courage beats fear every single time. If you want wealth fast, you must train your mind to act before the crowd. While others analyze, you execute. While others doubt, you move. While others play defense, you attack. Because the riches never wait. They flow to the first mover, the one bold enough to leap when others freeze. The truth is simple but uncomfortable. Safe is slow, bold is fast. And in a world where opportunity expires overnight, speed is everything. So stop hesitating. Stop waiting for a sign. The sign is here. Move boldly, because the fortune you want is waiting for the courage you've been avoiding. The difference between slow wealth and fast wealth can be summed up in one word: leverage. Leverage is the invisible engine behind every empire. It's how one idea moves millions, how one person leads thousands, how one decision changes everything. Most people try to push the world with their bare hands. They rely only on effort. But effort without leverage is like trying to lift a mountain with your arms. Leverage gives you the lever, the tool that multiplies your strength 100-fold. Machiavelli understood this centuries ago. Rulers didn't fight every battle themselves. They built systems, alliances, and armies that fought for them. They multiplied their will through others. That's leverage in its purest form. There are 4 great forms of leverage in today's world: money, people, knowledge, and attention. Master these, and you can move faster than entire industries. Money leverage means using capital as your soldier. While the poor fear debt, the rich weaponize it. They use investors, partners, and credit to build faster than savings ever could. They don't ask, "Can I afford it?" They ask, "Who can I align with to make it happen?" They understand that borrowed power is still power if used wisely. People leverage is even greater. No one rises alone. Every leader, every CEO, every king builds a network. They create movements around their vision. They lead teams, followers, and fans who multiply their reach. Each person becomes an extension of their will. And when you can inspire or direct others, your power scales without limit. Then comes knowledge leverage. This isn't about knowing everything. It's about knowing first. Fast movers read the trends before the crowd. They see the storm coming and position themselves to ride it. Information becomes their weapon. Precision becomes their advantage, because the one who acts on hidden knowledge looks like a genius to those still guessing. Finally, there's attention leverage, the crown jewel of the modern age. Attention is currency. If people know your name, your ideas, or your brand, money follows, because attention creates trust. Trust creates influence, and influence opens every door. That's why those who master visibility often rise faster than those with raw skill. But here's the mistake most make. They try to do everything alone. They refuse to borrow, partner, delegate, or promote. They believe independence equals strength. In truth, it equals slowness. The man who multiplies himself through others moves like lightning. The one who insists on doing it all moves like a snail. So ask yourself, Right now, where can I add leverage? Who can help me scale? What tools, systems, or audiences can multiply my reach? Because once you discover your levers, wealth becomes acceleration, not struggle. Leverage turns effort into empire. It's how kings rule, founders rise, and fortunes explode, seemingly overnight. Stop pushing alone. Start pulling the levers of power, because leverage isn't just the key to speed, it's the key to freedom itself. Power is the final stage of wealth. It's not just about money, it's about control. Control over time, control over choices, control over destiny. Most people think wealth is the finish line, but the rich know it's only the beginning. Because money without control is a golden cage. You might have comfort, but someone else still pulls the strings. The boss, the client, the market, the algorithm. Someone always rules you, until you learn to rule yourself. Machiavelli wrote that the one who cannot command must obey, and that's the law of life. If you don't take power, someone will take it from you. Not because they're evil, but because power is never left empty. It's always claimed, it's always occupied, and in every room, someone is leading. If it isn't you, then you're being led. So what is power? Really, it's the ability to make reality bend toward your will. It's not force, it's influence. It's not domination, it's direction. Power is quiet confidence, not loud control. It's the steady hand that steers chaos. The wealthy understand this deeply. They don't chase validation, they build position. They design systems where they decide the terms. Every choice they make increases autonomy. Every move expands control. That's why they're calm when others panic. Because while the crowd reacts, they command. But the rise to power always brings resistance. When you start taking control of your life, the world pushes back. People call you arrogant. Friends say you've changed. They'll warn you to stay humble, to play it safe, to be realistic. Ignore them. That's not wisdom, it's fear speaking through their lips. Because your growth exposes their stagnation. Your speed reminds them of their stillness. Machiavelli knew this truth well. He warned that the innovator makes enemies of all who prospered under the old order. In other words, the moment you rise, the old world resists. That's not a sign of failure, it's proof you're succeeding. Power always attracts friction, because power changes the game. To rise fast, you must grow comfortable with discomfort. You must act when others freeze, speak when others stay silent, decide when others hesitate. And you must never apologize for leading, because leadership isn't given, it's taken. It's seized through clarity, confidence, and courage. And once you hold it, everything changes. People follow, opportunities align, money accelerates, and influence compounds. The ultimate power is not to rule others, but to rule yourself. To master emotion, focus, and fear. To move with intent when the world stumbles in doubt. That's what Machiavelli meant by virtue, the disciplined strength to shape destiny. So claim your space, stand firm in your will, because wealth without power fades, but power with purpose builds legacies. And those who master both don't just play the game, they become the game. Now you know the truth. Wealth isn't random. It's built on power, leverage, and bold motion. The world doesn't reward the busiest, it rewards the most strategic. Those who think like rulers, not workers. Those who act before they're ready. Those who see beyond money to control. Machiavelli's lesson was never about cruelty. It was about clarity. He taught that fortune bends to those who dare to command it. That strategy beats strength. That courage beats caution. That speed beats safety. You were never meant to follow orders. You were meant to design them. To move like a strategist in a world of servants. To build systems that outlive your labor. To create freedom that multiplies itself. Because wealth moves fast. And only those who move faster can catch it. So stop asking for permission. Start building power. Start moving boldly. Because in this game, the crown doesn't go to the cautious. It goes to the one who takes it.